Hi, my name's Hayley Browning, as you already know. This is our second video log, or our first actual video log. The first one was the project plan. And in this one, we are supposed to address the interaction that we had, our very first interaction that we had with our peers that we were interacting with. So, as an explanation of my interaction, I went home this past weekend and I met with my friend. Her name is Riley. We met at my house and we had some coffee and talked about stuff while we were sitting there. And basically, I just wanted her to sum up her entire experience at St. Regis Catholic School, which is where she went from kindergarten to 8th grade. Let's see. When I first started talking to Riley, I had no idea what to expect because I have gone previously to a public school my entire career in education. And so I had no idea how religion played into their education over there and how it affected their lives, and so that was something that I really wanted to learn about. So I asked Riley to describe her typical day, and she explained to me that they would start out, go to homeroom, and the first thing that they would do was say the morning prayer. And that was led over announcements by somebody. It changed every day. It was somebody in like the higher grade levels. And everybody had to say it together. It was pre-planned. It was always at the exact same time every day. And then after that, they would do like this meditation, like repetitive mantra thing that was led by the teacher. And that they would always sit there with their hands together. And it was this repetitive phrases that were focused around religion, and the teacher would change the phrases every day, but the students had no option. They had to sit there and completely focus on that, and they weren't allowed to do anything else or get distracted or anything. And then for the rest of the day, they went to their classes. She said she had the typical core classes like math and science and language arts and stuff, and what really surprised me, though, was that they had a specific religion class. And I asked her about it, and she said that it wasn't just about Catholicism, because the St. Regis is a Catholic school. And I was really surprised by that, too, because I would have suspected that they might have been a little closed-minded to other religions, but they actually talked about, like, Buddhism and Judaism and all these other religions that weren't necessarily Catholics. And she said that it really like opened her eyes to other religions, but at the same time it was kind of odd because they had grown up learning all about Catholicism, and she had no idea that all of this other stuff went on. And I think that that might have been a benefit of me going to public school. Was I was kind of thrown into a mix of different religions and cultures, and I did go to a public school that was in a pretty white suburban area, but I did have a lot of Jewish friends, and even my roommate right now is Jewish, and I knew a lot of people that were Islamic and wore hijabs, and I've talked to them about how that influenced their lives, and I just thought that was like a big beneficial factor that played into my education. Because I was able to interact with them one-on-one while in a Catholic school. They were all Catholic, and they didn't have the option to hang out with anybody that was Jewish or anything like that. And like, I know that a big part of my middle school experience was going to bat mitzvahs and bar mitzvahs, and finally going to experience what a Jewish synagogue is like, and saying prayers for the bat mitzvah and all of that, and it was really quite interesting, and she never got to experience any of that. And let's see, I also was really surprised to hear about the morning prayer every morning. Like, I figured that there was obviously a religion played into her education, but I didn't know that it was that big of a deal. And she also told me that they went to Mass every Thursday, and that took up like an hour every Thursday out of their entire day. Like, and what they could have been doing in that hour, could have been like a good reading lesson, or maybe some extra math help. but they were just so focused on informing their kids about the Catholic ways of the church that they took some of those beneficial areas away from them. But Riley did say that she had a great experience, but she also informed me that it was a lot different than public school, because one of the reasons why I chose to interview Riley was because she went to St. Regis from her kindergarten all through 8th grade, but then once she hit high school, she went to public school, so she was able to experience both sides. And I thought that that was a great way for me to see one-on-one what her feelings were between the differences and all that. And we went into a little bit of detail about it, but I want next time to discuss more about that, and also what the differences are in relation to how religion played into her schooling in kindergarten through 8th grade and not having any religion in public school. What she did tell me, that one of the main differences was that there was a lot more rules. Apparently it was very, very strict at her Catholic school. They would have to walk in single file lines. There was no talking whatsoever in the hallways, and I know that the school that she transferred to, which was my high school, people would just wander around whenever they wanted to in between classes, and there were people yelling in the hallways constantly, and that was a big no-no. They would get written up no matter what if that happened to them. And she also explained to me that the uniforms were a big influence on the rules. They would get tested on their skirt lengths once a week, and the boys would have to get haircut sweeps, which is where the teachers would go around and make sure that the boys' hair wasn't too long. And I think that kind of limits the way that the students can portray themselves and kind of show their personality. And I know that in public school I saw so many different people. Even at MSU, I've seen people with all kinds of different clothes on, all the different colored hair and all different colored makeup, and everybody has their own personality, and the way that they portray that is shown through their outer appearance. And they didn't have the opportunity to do that at St. Regis. And Riley said that it was nice because there weren't as many distractions, and it was also nice to roll out of bed in the morning and just throw on a uniform. But it was annoying because she wanted to wear her pink shirt, or she wanted to wear comfy jeans, and she couldn't. And so yeah, there are definitely a lot of differences between the public and the private religious schools. But next interview I want to focus mainly on what the differences are in regards to religion. I learned that there's big differences, as I said, and that the differences affected her and affected the other students, but I want to also discuss with her how they affected her in a deeper way. So we'll see what she says next time. Thank you.